Okay, hey guys. So we're going to start talking about some court cases, and one of the activities we're going to do is kind of have you break down a court case. So I did an example one for you. This is called our court case cartoon show. So we're going to use cartoons and pictures to kind of help tell our story. So the court case I'm going to do for you in our example is the Tinker versus Des Moines case, a very famous, important one that we've talked about. So here are your directions. So you're going to get a partner, and then you're going to edit the following slides to tell the story of whatever court case you get. Make sure that you include what the slide instructs. So at the top you'll see like little slide directions. You'll see it on the next page. Just make sure that's what you're putting on that slide. You're free to animate objects. You can add images or link videos. If you are going to link a video, please make sure it's not longer than 2 minutes to help tell your story. Make sure that you're crediting all sources and content, or you're crediting, the sources of any content that you did not create yourself. So at the very end, there's a slide where you can just paste that website or wherever you got that source from. Make sure you're not filling the slides with text. We want the text to be minimal. We're trying to tell a story with the pictures and little blurbs. So really don't just like paste a whole thing, a whole page about your court case. And then you can either make a screen recording like what I'm doing now of your source presenting the case, or you can present it to the class in person. So when you get to your slides, they're going to look like this, just blank, and then at the top it tells you what you need to include. So slide 1, you need to include photos and names of the students involved. So here we have our 3 students. We have Mary Beth Tinker, John Tinker, her brother, and then Chris Eckhart. What I'm going to do for the rest of this, though, is this is going to be our Mary Beth. This little cartoon is going to play her. So on your second slide, you need a photo and a name of the school involved. This happened at Warren Harding Junior High School. I have a picture of the high school. If you just Google it, you can probably find it pretty simply. And then here we have our principal, or who will be representing our principal for the rest of the scenario. Slide 3, you're going to explain the initial incident, what the students actually did to get them in trouble, and make sure you include when it happened. So here's Mary. And one day she decided to wear a black armband to school to protest the Vietnam War. So black armband, it had a peace sign on it. Her and her brother and a bunch of other kids actually wore these black armbands to school. They felt very strongly about the war. They weren't for it. They thought we were there for the wrong reasons. So they wore these just to kind of like silently show their not agreement with it, rather. And slide 4, you're going to explain the school's reaction. They were not thrilled. They said that she was a disruption to other people, and they suspended the students who were wearing the armbands. You can see she is not happy about that. Slide 5, you're going to say who took it to court and why did they do that. So obviously Mary, not thrilled. You can imagine Mary's father, equally not thrilled. We have him saying, "I'm not happy with that decision, Prince." Also, the Iowa Civil Liberties Union is the one who took it to court because they thought that her speech or that protesting should have been protected under the First Amendment, that she had the right to do that. Slide 6, you're going to say who did the court side with and why. So I have my date down here. Make sure you include the date of the court decision. If you remember, the initial incident happened in 1965, so now we're in 1969, so it's been a while. So here's our judge. And he says, "We side with the students. They do not shed their constitutional rights at the schoolhouse gate. So they still maintain those rights when they get to school." So Mary Beth, she's happy with her little armband. Yay, that only took 4 years. Slide 7, the impact of the case on future students. So what does this case mean to us now? So it set the Tinker standard. What that means is students do not lose their right to free speech when they are at school. They maintain their First Amendment rights unless, there are a couple of exceptions, unless their speech causes a significant disturbance to those around them, or their speech infringes on another student's rights to privacy and free speech. As you guys research some of these other court cases, you'll see some of that speech that's not protected. I listed a couple down here for you, like profanity, slander, libel, and threats. But once you get into some of the other ones, you'll kind of see that more than we see it in the Tinker case. And then lastly, you'll have slide 8, where you'll just post any sources that you used in your presentation. Even if it's just a photo, make sure you do that. Yeah, that's your assignment. I'll post the ones that everybody finishes, so you'll have those to study with, and we will have a quiz over these in class next week. All right, thanks guys.